All right, guys, so now we're going to give functionality to the search forms, both of them. Basically, what we need to do is when we make a search, like let's say we put like pool or something, or we choose bedrooms, any field we fill in when we submit, we're going to want to first check to see if that field exists, and then we're going to want to pull it out of the request, or pull it out of the request, I guess we could say, and put it into a variable. And then we're going to want to base our query set based on that variable. We're going to want to filter by that. So if they say state Alabama, then we're going to want to put a filter for state of Alabama. Okay, so we want to do this one by one, and we're going to do this in the listings views.py in the search. Okay, so right up at the top here, I'm going to start what we're going to call a query set list, and we can build onto this. So we're going to say query set underscore list, and I'm initially going to set this to the listing model. Okay, and we're going to say dot objects dot order underscore by, and let's order by list date. Okay, so this query alone is basically just like the listings page, right? It's the same thing. It's just going to get all of the listings. So what we need to do is just add filters for the search. But I think what I'm going to do first is just pass it in like this so we can get the template all set up. I think that's a better idea so that we can actually see our results. So let's go ahead and pass in the context. And we'll say listing, or listings, and oops, we want to set that to our query set list. Okay, so now before we do all the search stuff here, let's actually just render what we're getting from this in the template. And we can do that by just literally copying what we have in listings.html. So up at the top here, or not at the top, but right here where we check for listings, we do all that stuff. We actually want the same thing in the search results. Okay, so let's copy from here, if listings, down to the end if. All right, and then we're going to go to our search.html, and we want to put this right under the row. So we want to get rid of listing 1, 2, or 1 through 6 actually, right? 6 of them. So I'm going to go. That's 5. All right, so that's down to 5, and I just want to make sure I'm right about where listing 6 ends. So I'm going to just highlight that div, and it ends right here. So I want to get rid of that as well, listing 6. Okay, and then in this row is where we want to paste what I just copied. Okay, and everything should be the same really because it's coming in as listings. Okay. It will be filtered, but for now it should just show all of the listings. So let's save that. Let's go back to search.html and see if that works. So if we reload, we get all of our listings. All right, and we might as well add the pagination as well. Actually, you know what? I'm actually not going to keep the pagination here on the search. Yeah, so let's get rid of this markup here. Where does this end? That row ends here. That may or may not be in your version of the theme because we're not going to use it. All right, so now that we're actually showing listings, let's add some filters. So let's go to back to views.py, and let's see how we want to do this. Let's just start with searching for keywords, okay, because we have a keywords field. So I'm going to go right down here, and I'm going to just comment all the fields. So we'll say keywords. And first thing we want to do is check if it exists. So we can say if keywords in request.get. Okay, when you make a request with this form, it's a GET request, and you can actually test to see if it exists. Okay, now if it does, let's indent over. If it does, then we want to do keywords I'm going to create a variable called keywords, and we can get the actual form value by saying request dot get, and then inside brackets keywords. Okay, so after we do that, I'm actually going to do another if, and I'm going to say if keywords. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to make sure it's not an empty string. So if keywords, then we want to take our query list or query set list, and we want to set a filter on it. So we're going to do query set list dot filter. Okay, remember the filter method. And we actually want to search the description for any words that are typed into this keyword box. So the way we do that is say description. And if we're doing a search like that, that's not an exact match. Like with our states, we're gonna say we want to look where Alabama equals Alabama in that actual database field. In this case, we want to search a whole paragraph for, let's say, the word pool or something like that. So when we do that, we use this double underscore after the field we're searching, and we do I contains. Okay, because we're seeing if that paragraph contains this word, and it's going to be keywords. Like that. Okay. All right. So I think that should do it. I mean, we could probably just test it now. So let's save. And I know we don't have great descriptions. I think we just have dummy data. Let's see. Let's reload. Oops. What happened? Not sure what happened here. All right, looks like our server stopped, so I must have did something wrong. Let's take a look. I'm going to go into my server terminal. Okay, so if keywords in request.get. Oh, I forgot the colon. It's an if statement, so we need our colon. All right, so now the server's running again. Good. So I'm going to go back, and let's reload. All right, so if we look at like one of the descriptions, it's all this dummy text. Let's search for this word here, proin. So if we go back here and we say proin and search, I think they all have the same description, so that might not help. Let's go in the admin area, and let's actually just add something to a description we can search for. So we'll go to listings. We'll go to 33 Essex Circle, and in the end here, we'll just say has pool. Okay, and we'll save this. Oops, don't want to delete it. We want to save it. And then let's go back to the home page here, and let's search for pool and submit. And there it is. So we just have our Essex Circle property, because that's the only one where the description has pool. All right, so that's working. And we should be able to do it from here as well. This should go to the same place, which it doesn't. It still goes to search HTML, so that's something we need to change. So in our search HTML, let's go up to the form and change this to URL search. Pool, submit. Okay. Now, if we submit this with no search fields here, we should get everything. Okay, all the listings. All right. Now, for the other fields here, like let's do city next. City is also a text field, but with city we want to match the exact. We want to match the exact thing. If we put Chicago, we want to match that exact text string in the database. So inside our views.py here, let's go under where we did the keywords, and let's do city. Okay, I'm actually going to copy this, and we're going to say if city in request.get, we're going to create a variable called city. Change that. We're going to say if city, then let's do query list equals query list dot filter, and we want the name of the field, which is going to be city. But instead of contains, we want to match it exact, right? So we're going to do I exact equals and then the city variable. So let's go back and let's reload, and let's see, let's do Bedford. So Bedford, submit, there we go. Let's see, we had Lexington. Actually, we have them in the drop downs here. Lexington, good. Norwood. All right, so city's working. Let's search with lowercase. So let's do Lexington with a lowercase l. Okay, and that works as well. And the reason that works is because I used I exact, which is case insensitive. Okay, if you want it to be case sensitive, then you would just use exact. All right, so let's move on here. Next thing we want is the state. So let's copy this. And if you ever want to add a field, you basically just have to do this. You just add to the query set. So I'm going to do a Control D, again, again, and again, and again, and just change them all to state. Okay, we can try that out. Let's reload. Okay, so if we reload, it's still in the GET request. So what I'll do is just go to the home page, and let's choose something we don't have, like Alabama. So we get no listings. Okay, now let's choose Mass, and we only have our Mass listings. Okay, none of the New Hampshire ones. Good. So that's working. Let's try the city and state together. So if we do like Norwood, Alabama, and submit, that doesn't work. If we do Norwood, Massachusetts, and submit, that works. Okay, and I'm going to show you guys in a bit, probably in the next video, how to keep your, like if we put Norwood in here and we search, I want Norwood to stay in there. Okay, so I'll show you how to do that. But let's finish actually being able to search these fields. So next we want to do bedrooms. So I'm going to grab that. And we're going to change all these to bedrooms. And again, we're going to do exact. Actually, no, I'm sorry, we're not going to do exact. Since, I mean, there's different ways you could do this. If you wanted to search for exact, you could. But the way that I want this to work is if someone chooses 4 bedrooms, I want them to get everything up to 4 bedrooms. Okay, so they shouldn't see anything 5, 6, or anything like that. I want them to just see what they're basically searching, what they could afford, which is a 4 bedroom. So anything up to that. And you could make this more advanced if you wanted to. You can change different parameters and stuff, but I'm just gonna do up to 4 bedrooms. So to do that, we don't want I exact. You could do exact, like I said, if you wanted to match the bedrooms exactly, but what I'm going to use here is LTE. Okay, so it'll basically be less than. Okay, less than or equal to LTE. So let's try that. We'll save, and let's go back. And I forget exactly what bedrooms we have here. So we have 5, 3, 3, 3, 4, 3. So we don't even have any 2 bedrooms. So let's choose 3 bedrooms, and then this 5 shouldn't show up. This 4 shouldn't show up. Okay. So let's go back here and let's choose bedrooms. Whoops, I want to choose 3 and submit, and there we go. So we only get the 3s. If I choose 4, we should get the 4 and all the 3s, but we don't see the 5 because that's beyond our search. Okay, we're not looking for anything more than 4 bedrooms. All right, so we're going to do the same kind of thing with the. Actually, we don't have a bathroom search. That's right. All right, so we're going to do the same thing with the price, though. I'm going to say up to a certain amount because that's usually how people search. And what actually I just bought a house is what actually prompted me to build this application, because I was using apps like this to look for a house. So let's change this to price, and then all of these to price. We're going to leave LTE, and then that should be it. That should do it for the search. If we go back home and let's say we want to price, let's do up to 400,000. Submit. Okay, so that didn't work because this is showing that it shouldn't be showing. 400,000. Okay, that did work. 300,000. All right, let's go back to the home. I think we might have something. It might have something to do with how this form is set up. Let's choose 300 and submit. Okay, so that's not working. So what I'm going to do is head back to the index page. So templates, pages, index.html, and let's take a look at the price. Okay, and the issue here is that the select for price doesn't have a name, so it's not knowing to look for the price. So if hopefully I remember, you guys probably won't have to add this. I'm going to add it so you guys don't have to, but just in case I forget for some reason, just go ahead and put in name equals price. Okay, but I think I'm going to fix that after this video. So now if we go home and we go to 400,000 and submit, there we go. So now it works. Because that name attribute, that's what the server sees. Okay, when you're in your search, your search in your views file, and you're looking at request.get.bedrooms, what this is looking at is the field, the form field that has the name of bedrooms. Okay, this is looking for the field with the name of price. So if you don't have that name attribute, it's not going to know what you're talking about. Okay, so that's when you're dealing with server side, when in the front end, the name attribute is the most important when it comes to submitting a form. All right, and of course the action of the form tag, because that tells it where to submit to. So in the next video, I'm going to show you guys how we can actually make it so that when we search for like a city, it will stay at that point. If we pick a state and we submit, it doesn't go back to state like this. Okay, so we'll do that in the next video.